Are you going to make me one?
Yeah. I'll make you one. I'll make you a magic.
So what did you say, you're a barista?
Yeah.
You trained to be a barista?
Yeah. I used to be a barista all my university years. From since I was actually I started when I was 15, but I made specialty coffee maybe 21, 22. All my university years in Brunswick Street in Melbourne, I used to make coffees. And, actually worked as a apprentice at a butcher. I worked at a cafe, worked at many restaurants like a crepe shop, you know, kebab shop, obviously just like any other kid, Turkish kid.
And what did you study at uni?
I did my Bachelor of Education at Victoria University. So it took me a while because I was an elite athlete. So that was cool. It was cool.
And this cafe is a part of the academy, right?
Yeah, so we have a specialty coffee shop here in the gym, and then we just rebranded it to Refresher, and we have a smoothie and healthy smoothies, juices for the public at nights and to all the members, you know. We just started operating in the mornings. We've got a few baristas on, 6 to 9 a.m. every morning. So if you're in the area, you can pop in. And if you're not happy with the coffee, you let me know.
And I just have an espresso, that's it.
Just an espresso? Yes. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if they adjusted the machine well. Comes out good, we'll catch it. It's not bad, you can record that.
Well, it's a death sentence in Melbourne if you got bad coffee in a cafe.
Yeah, man, like, I'm that kind where I'll drive for a good coffee. I'll make that effort. I won't have a coffee until, I'll rather wait till I have a good coffee.
See?
That's not bad. It's probably a 7 out of 10 for me. Probably a 7 out of 10. Enjoy, brother.
Cheers. How important is it to be like the baddest guy in the room, like the toughest guy in the room? You know what I mean? Like, I know it's not spoken about,
Yeah.
but I've always thought it's got to be in the back of your head. Like, you walk in the room and you think, or does that fade as you get more experience? And
I guess it's not an issue for everybody,
but it is.
It is an issue for that low percentage of people, like the alphas, right? Like the 1% or maybe the 5% of the population.
But you're all alphas.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Depends on what kind of room and level of alpha too.
Yeah.
You know, there's a saying like the uncommon amongst uncommon men.
Yeah.
That's deep. So it's like you're already uncommon, and then you're aiming to be uncommon amongst uncommon men, and uncommon alpha men.
Yeah.
That are aiming. So you're trying to like, and then amongst the people that are striving to be the best at their craft and you're trying to be uncommon amongst those elite humans, you know. So that's always a struggle because you go into a room. It's not an ego thing. Like for me, it's not an ego thing. It's more like, man, I got to figure that guy out. I want to be better than him. I want to be an alpha, but I got to figure his puzzle out. You know, what is he doing? What's happening? And then once you're the best in the room, you want to be the best in your state, best in your country, and then best in the world. And then eventually, you look for better rooms, and then you look for training partners. You make atmospheres, you make environments to suit your needs. Like every week, my training room here changes. You know, I got training partners all over Victoria. You know, I tee up with really good guys all the time. And then I got to make it work because I can't be uncomfortable when I'm training with. So I'm comfortable training with my students all these years. My students are amazing, but I have to make myself uncomfortable while I train with them if I want to improve and stay honest, right? So for me personally, every time I step on the mat, it's about being honest. And of course, like you want to be the man of the mat, but that just happens when you're busy with these emotions and these thoughts. You just become the best. And it's inevitable, right? Like you stick to that path and that right mindset. But if you have an ego and I got to be better than everyone else, I got to get him, man, on there. Like that's good. It's good competition, but it's not good for the long run because you'll break yourself and you won't last in this game long term. The short term emotion.
Okay, so it's almost like an initial feeling.
It's an
and you get
initial
over it,
feeling
it gets
that you have to
smashed
get it to mature.
out. Yeah.
If you don't get it to mature, it's like the difference between motivation and discipline, or like, motivation and consistency.
Yeah.
So someone's like, so I was saying, man, I'm the best today. I feel good today. I'm gonna go for it. No, you gotta go for it, even if you're not feeling good. You still gotta train and make it work, even if you're not feeling good, because that's who you've become. You know what I mean? So it's all about challenging and intriguing yourself. And like I can say, I did an hour workout with a bunch of black belts, but I protected my ego, right? So I was like, flowing, etc. And I wasn't putting myself in deep water. Then I don't feel satisfied in that session, for example.
Does this same thing with the gym, owning
Business, same thing.
Yeah.
Consistency over motivation. Like you'll have an idea, you want to do this. For me, like I made it a habit. I have an idea. If that idea is still there, for a month, 2 months, I'll do that idea. It's the right idea to do, because it's not off motivation. It's not off. It's not just a spark. It's an ongoing fire. Have you seen that photo, like or a clip or whatever? Like, imagine a fire burning. Would you have a big fire for a short term, or you have a consistent fire and a medium? That consistent fire serves the community, serves people, serve yourself, serve your surroundings in the long run more. So you're not going to be like, man, I want to be better than this guy in the room. Okay, then what?
So it's not like I'm going to have a gym and I'm going to have the best killers in there. That's not enough, is it? You surpass that eventually.
That happens. That's not the goal. The goal is to produce this mindset, this perspective. And this perspective is healthy, long-term, longevity. Because man, like, time flies. In a blink of an eye, we're 40 years old, right? And well, if you're consistent in this perspective and mindset, you have similar people around you, and you have a room full of the same vision, the same emotions. And I believe as humans anyway, like we should combine. We've got so much emotions in us that haven't even been discovered yet, and desires and needs and wants, and we only have 80 to 100 years to experience this. So, and it's not fair to have that. So that's why I believe there's an afterlife anyway. But before that, it's like you got so much. Like that's why you got to combine the emotion and your intellect, especially with grappling and martial arts. You got to combine the two. If you don't combine the two,
because you guys have only got a short window of being the best you can be, right? Like it doesn't last long, so you've got to adapt to, like you said, different emotions and different goals quickly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be miserable thinking that I can't beat anyone up anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the short window, you can extend that window depending on your perspective, your style, and your attitude. You can extend that window. But you got to know, okay, the prime. Like right now, my prime is just started. So I believe 28 to 34, my prime. 33, 34 is where I'm really going to peak, technically. You know what I mean? And physically and emotionally and intellectually. Like I'm a different person 6 months ago. You know?
Yeah.
And amongst all these experiences, like travels, like over 30, 40 countries, emotions, family, businesses, etc., training hard, different cultures, different environments, different experiences, whatever childhood trauma and psychological battles, all these things combined makes you who you are, right? And the mat is a reflection of that. The mat is a reflection of that. Because you can either shy away from it or you can face it and see where it takes you, You know which buttons to press, huh? Yeah. The best of the best, like in any industry, like I don't even look up to the best in my industry. I look at the best of the best in all industries, all sports, all businesses, the best companies, the best athletes, the best entrepreneurs, the best businessmen, the best family men. How'd they all juggle it? And I look, man, you know what? Over the years, naturally, because of the right perspective, I've built habits that they preach, and I've even here I go, man, I've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
It's because it's just being honest with yourself, perspective, and having a good circle of trust as well that you can bounce ideas off and redirect your pathway. But again, you can do it all. You gotta know when to be who to be where, and you gotta have people that warn you. Like, man, look, it's not time for that. You've done that. You've done your time. Now this is business time. This is training time. This is your family time. Now this is business time, but not for this business. We're talking about this business. We're We're talking about training, but we're not talking about this training now. We're talking about this training, and then within that, there's more windows, rooms. Like, doesn't end. So if you know where to place them, it makes it easier. But still, if you open them at the wrong time, like midnight, 10 p.m. If I open one of the folders, I can't sleep. So I'm trying to teach myself, don't open these folders at this time of the day, because that's your family's right on you, for example. Of course, it's crucial. It has to be solved. It's yeah. But that's our lifestyle.
Would you be satisfied if all you did was compete and train and not have this?
I don't know. I think yeah.
Could you just travel, train, and compete? Like, you know, so you've travelled.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I get jealous of those people.
Yeah.
That full time do that. But then what I say to myself, biggest regret, like in our faith, we believe one of the biggest regrets is when we face God in the afterlife. It's like you could have been this person, but you chose to be this person. So this was your potential, but you chose to be this. You took the easy way out. So, okay, at a young age, I was faced with all these opportunities and all these pathways. I could have said, nah, man, I don't want any responsibility or whatever. I just want to do this. Then I took it all and I took it all on board. I go, let's see what happens. Let's see if I can carry it all. And we believe like God doesn't give you what you can't handle as well. So I'm like, okay, this is given to me. I must be able to handle it. So my goal is to reach my potential. That potential can be 1 world championship. It can be no world championship. It can be 10 world championships. But that's not the goal. Like I've realized that. My goal is just to reach my potential in anything that's presented in front of me. So I do get jealous of those people that live on couch, play video games and take steroids. Not that bit. But then I go, as humans, there's so much more to that. And if you're presented with that, you got to take it all and tackle the world. Like I've been realising that more, and people that are around, like, man, blink of an eye, you're 10 years have passed. What have you done? How did you invest in yourself? What fruits did you plant? You know, so I try to remind myself. Although I get caught up as an athlete, saying, man, I should do it. Oh, no, I can't do it now. I go, no. Let them do it. I'm still gonna beat them in that, because I got something they don't have. You know, it's just being honest to yourself. A lot of people just. Because I could choose to do that. You can live unauthentic life, You can run an unauthentic business. You can run an unauthentic brand, but they don't last because there's no sweat attached to it. There's no hard work attached to it, or there's no honesty attached to it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you see the differences, right? Look. There's now anyone can have a brand. Anyone could have followers, anyone could have it. So you look and you can distinguish just from a handshake on who this man is.
Yeah.
You look him in the eye and you can see it. And the high level of that is you grapple him because it's unarmed combat. It's my spirit versus yours, my heart versus yours. Then you see who this guy actually is. You know?
So you can. Like you see their journey to where they are.
Yeah, you see the character on the mat, 100%.
Yeah.
Because think about it, this is something we've been looking into, like in our faith as well. And like when you're grappling, it's just a battle of your heart rate. So my biggest battle is my own heart.
Yeah.
My own heart rate. It's
literally heart rate?
Yeah.
Your
heart rate.
Yeah.
Because whoever heart beats faster and you can't handle it and you don't have enough tools to handle that heartbeat, to calm it down, to relax it and use technique, you start fatiguing and drowning in the water.
Interesting that you brought that up because I've been noticing.
For the past week I've been trying to look at it.
Like whether you submit someone, whether it's the end of the round, it's always the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good, because sometimes poker face, like from the outside you see someone's calm, but inside there's volcanoes and there's like but you can't see that the battles are within you to control that, to contain that beast at the right time. That's the biggest battle.
Well, for example, when I was taking photos last week, the first 5 minutes I was shitting myself, thinking, oh no, the light is, I don't know what I'm doing.
Nah, man. I just seen this here, the reel we just made.
I realised I just got to ride that first 7-8 minutes where you don't know, like you're panicking and you're
Wow.
getting forward. And that's what I see in you guys. You think,
What a story. Each photo is a story there.
and I'll get there. Just relax, and you'll compose yourself eventually, and you'll get there. It happens every day in my life.
And you think like, out of billions of people, 7 billion people on the planet, like, how many of us seek to experience this? Or have the courage to even try to experience it? And then I think about another thing. 500 years ago, if I was born 500 years ago, where would I be? Who would I be? So my character in that environment, that's what, you know what I mean? So we look up to people, figures of the past, and the greats, and the warriors, and the scholars, and you know, the founders of this, founders of that, like the prophets, and whatever. Look past. That's like, if I was 500 years ago, which side would I be on? Would I be comfortable in a tent and just living and enjoying myself with my family, or would I be on a horseback, conquering and defending justice, or you know what I mean, and training people to protect themselves?
Well, you don't even have to go.
You know what I mean? So, no, just whatever. Like, you don't have enough. Yeah, you don't have enough detail, but it's crazy, bro. So it's just like these things. So I go, okay, I'll live honest. If I live honest, just like they've lived honest and they've made some sort of legacy, I can be a part of that legacy, and I can be on their side, the side of the good people, in a way, that are not comfortable, that are doing something for to society, to humanity, and you know, just chasing justice. Because it's hard, yeah, it's hard. How hard is it? There's people suffering all around the world, right? So how hard can it be for us to battle ourselves on the mat or in a competition, or have all these burdens? People don't have, like, they lose, man, people are getting bombed, people are dying, people are starving all around the world. So who are we to say, like, man, I'm not going to try? At least try, man. At least have the courage to have some courage, yeah, to try it out. So we don't have no time to live that comfortably. I don't think so. And as soon as you do that, you're naturally into that, and you just realize what all the opportunities God's put in front of you, and then you just got to take it. And then whatever, it's up to you, you know, and it turns into whatever it turns into. As long as you're genuine and sincere and right perspective, you'll do good.
Do you reckon you've figured out all those fundamentals about yourself?
No.
Like, no, I know that you don't know where you're going to end up,
Yes.
but do you know that you can trust that you are always coming from the right place?
I try to do that because I have people I trust that I talk to, and also with my family and some brothers, and for sure, like, I know who I am in a way. I'm still discovering it, like, but you get to that point in life where you're like, no, I think so. It's out of your hands after a certain point. You think about your decision, and then you see how, you know, is it the right thing to do according to my heart, to my intellect, you know, to my faith? Is it the right thing to do for my community, my brothers and my family? Then you make a decision and you do it, and you can't regret it. If you did your best to make the right decision, and let's see where life ends up. You know, your destiny, like, we don't believe in not predetermined destiny. We believe in destiny. Destiny is who you're meant to become when you pass to the next life. So if I make the right decisions along that path, I'm on that path. But if I make the wrong decisions, I end up. Yes, you go off, you come back as well, but that's the goal.
Have you ever rolled in competition where you did something that you weren't happy about yourself? Not your performance, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, not like you cheated, or like you did something you thought, you know what, that doesn't represent me. Like, have you been confronted with that?
Experience in terms of, like, result,
performance, whatever. Like, for example, like I cheated then and I got away with it, and coming out of it you think, oh, that's...
Oh yeah, like you trick yourself in terms of your performance.
Yeah.
Like, I did my best. I lost the match. I did my best, man. No, I didn't do my best.
Yeah.
I know I didn't do my best. He was better than me that day. So you say these things so you sleep well at night.
Does that really come back to you?
Yeah, you go, no, yeah, he wasn't better.
Yeah.
Or I got tired. The easiest way, like, I was tired, my legs gave up. His legs gave up too. but he didn't quit. So, there's always an excuse. So you got to dig deep down and say, what's the reason? Biggest things that athletes do, they blame their coaches, they blame their surroundings, they blame their corner, they blame people that were involved in the journey. But it's everything comes down to you, right?
Yeah.
The biggest team in the world, same thing, all to you. So, and there's always like fighters. Okay, they're not happy with this. Okay, I change my coach. No, change what's in you. You know what I mean? That's the most important. So these cheats, these whispers of the devil, maybe. You're like whispers, like saying, "Man, look, so you can sleep well at night." You know, man, it's alright. You did well, man. It wasn't your fault. It was the coach's fault. No, it wasn't your fault. You were tired, man. You're actually very good. Oh, he's on steroids. He's on this. No. It's you, bro. Like, it's you. Figure it out. Answers with you. You know, it's always to blame you. Technically, spiritually, emotionally, in whatever it is. Psychologically, like these things. Dig deep into these 4 things, and you know the reason, and it's from you, not from anyone else. And I listened to this music before my fight. That's what affected me. This affected me. No. You affected yourself. Because people go to war back in the day with no water, no bread. They fight for weeks and months. They're just a piece of bread there, water there, this there. They don't see that. They did it. I didn't warm up well. My corner said this. He said this. He got into my head. I spoke to this guy. There's so much excuses. If you dig deep, if you dig deep, and that's about everything in life, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure, man. Of course, I tricked myself, and I probably still do.
Yeah.
And I'll notice over the long run. Yeah, I probably still do. You know.
Exactly.
And I wish. That's why I want to form an environment and a brotherhood and a team with this perspective and mindset. But no one can reach this perspective and mindset without the experience. If you seek a shortcut, you're not going to get there, and you're not going to relate to anyone. You're not going to relate.
Yeah, people sniff it on you.
You're not going to, and you're not going to relate to the greats.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about the greats. Everyone puts a poster of the greats in their room. You know, I had it too when I was 15, 16. You know. But now I go, then I think I'm starting to relate to these guys. I'm not great, but I can relate to it. Because I'm trying to walk a path. I might be at the start of the path. I might be in the middle, whatever it is. Might not even be an inch, but yeah, there's people, bro. There's people today and there's people in the past that couldn't sleep comfortably because their neighbor was suffering.
Oh yeah.
Or someone suffering in the world, or someone is like, so I can't sit still, you know. Gotta do something. Gotta do something about it. And my goal is to reach my potential. That's your biggest. That's how you can serve humanity. You can donate, you can do these things, but the biggest thing is taking action and walking a path, a genuine path. I think that's the best way to serve humanity. You know. Cool, huh?
Yeah, so I help him out when he goes to compete. I'll look after him now. So obviously Burak's competing a lot, and someone has to kind of chip in and help him out. So I've been doing that ever since Greenvale. When he started.
He's preparing to go to, where's he, Croatia?
Yeah, Croatia, yeah. So
okay,
for the ADCC trials. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're preparing for that too, yeah?
Yeah, so we're training together. And we're going down to obviously Lachlan Giles, down that Absolute MMA to Killer. And yeah, man, have some tough roles preparing for what is to come. So,
yeah. So tonight you're just taking it easy though, yeah?
Yeah, obviously he's flying out tomorrow. And just a week before we done more specific drills, doing certain positions. So,
you know what I always wanted to know? How responsible the training partners feel? Like if he competes and he doesn't do well, like, do you think, you're a part of it, yeah? It's not like you just, you know what I'm trying to say? Is that,
look, so similar to like obviously Burak fought Thailand in the gi, right? And obviously preparing for that too was like, we did our best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I try to, especially when I roll Burak, I know at times, obviously he's better than me, but I try not to be lazy. I try to put up a challenge and I'm going to vomit in the next minute, but I try to give him as much as I can so I can, somewhat give him that kind of extra edge to that. But I think that in terms of that responsibility, I feel like if I try my best, I'm somewhat like not regretful, But when I start being lazy and like, whatever, I'm just like, man, am I really providing that training that he actually needs to compete? So we try to look in terms of strategy, what we can do, put him in the worst positions, try to figure things out. But it's just like, how can I say, it's like David and Goliath, you have like a small window of opportunity. You take it, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't, but again, it's more about putting the best effort I can and not trying to be regretful, so yeah. Not easy, not easy. It's a lot of pressure on my mind, It's like, shit, man, I'll go back. So like, I could have given more pressure this way. Maybe we could have given more of a challenge, But to get him ready. So obviously, the people that Burak trains with is somewhat is a piece of the puzzle. So obviously, on certain positions, I can give him a challenge and somewhat, provide that training. But again, I feel like everyone has that bit of piece to him to where he is. So it's everyone has a kind of a credit to it.
100%.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to chuck yourself into that worst position to see where you're at.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that biggest opponent that you have, like in those movies. Sometimes the main character fights someone, doesn't win, and then later on has all these troubles, back and forth, trains, and it's a warrior spirit. You're always fighting.
Sometimes you're living through him though. Like,
yeah.
Is that like a weird thing to say? Yeah, I'm not facing him. But
yeah. No, that's how I felt with Tynan's fight. Anyways, it's like, get out of the car. Come on, But no, 100%. That's how I felt because obviously you're putting so much effort into it, and you're somewhat in it. Because you're like, oh man, let's do this, let's do that,
Yeah.
But you have that surreal feeling of what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%, it's like a video game at times. It's like, that's all I do. It's weird, man, it's weird. So Burak knows he has the opportunity. So obviously he wanted to give it a try, right? But other than that, it's if you come ask me versus Tynan, man, I've got no chance, right? If it comes up to me, I'm like, yeah, man, we can roll in the academy. Don't embarrass me on the wall stage,
It's huge, though.
Yeah, it is huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not easy, but obviously you gotta somewhat have the skill set to be like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, because it comes from the confidence, right? So yeah, he has that warrior spirit. Yeah, it's amazing, man. But yeah, that feeling, I remember start to end. Even when Burak lost, we had no ill regrets because we did our best. We looked into it. It was all good.
Yeah.
It was all good because we prepared for it too. We knew that once that window was gone, it's game over.
Yeah.
Right? It's game over. So because we can see what he does to the world champions. It just ragdolls him,
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good. It's a good feeling. Keeps me on my toes. somewhat, Burak has somewhat, to bounce back off at times. So that's good.
Keeps me on my toes too. So, yeah.
Keeps you busy.
Start jogging, boys. Let's go. Let's roll. Let's jog. Jog. No talking when you're jogging. Let's go.